All right, it's really dark out here. We're on the scene of breaking news in South Bend. 4 people shot, 2 people dead. This shooting happened along Frederickson Street.
Yeah, I know, and there are actually 2 scenes here. There's one down the street this way, which I think you're going to turn the camera on. Yeah, where those lights are, that's Frederickson and Huey, correct?
Yes.
Yes, that's one scene.
And this is really where it initiated, police are telling us, right? So it started down there at Frederickson and Huey, and then a vehicle took off there and came all the way down Frederickson Street. And just show us what's going on here.
Yeah, then it came down over here, and the vehicle crashed in front of that one house, and that's where they say they found at least one of the bodies over there of one of those 2 deceased people that cops have confirmed to us so far. So they're still wrapping that up. They might be closing this entire area off, but right now they said it's okay if, we're showing you all both of these scenes that are going on right now.
Yeah, in fact, police told us that along Frederickson that it looks like we're going to have to move here in just a second so that Metro Homicide can close off the entire street. Of course, a very large crime scene here that spans all the way from Frederickson and Huey to Frederickson and North Johnson. Again, if you're just joining us here, 4 people shot, 2 people confirmed dead from South Bend Police, Metro Homicide, handling the investigation. They're on their way right now. That is really all that we know. We do know that the shooting initiated at Frederickson and Huey, and then a vehicle took off down Frederickson and crashed into a house.
And one neighbor, actually, I was speaking with one who lives on Johnson, so that's right around the corner, and she was telling me that she was just awoken, or she just heard what sounded like fireworks to her, so that's how many gunshots she said. She said there must have been multiple guns to have made that loud of a noise, and she said that she's not surprised, unfortunately, that this is happening in this area, but that was quite a loud noise.
And it was really interesting, Jess, as well. A police officer stopped us and said in all of his years of police work, he really hasn't seen a scene that was this chaotic when the call first came out. And that's the tip that we got. I was on the anchor desk, actually, at 11:27 when we got a tip about this shooting that basically just made it sound very chaotic. Police confirming at the time that multiple people were shot. We didn't have enough to go on air at 11 o'clock to be able to break the news because we were still trying to sort out what in the world was going on here. And police saying, yeah, when they got here, too, they were trying to sort it out because, again, the crime scene is so large. From Johnson and Huey Frederickson and Huey all the way down to Frederickson and Johnson.
Yeah, and we actually passed an ambulance that was going to a hospital. We don't know the condition of those 2 other victims who were shot but not deceased at this time, according to South Bend Police. So we'll, of course, keep you posted when we find out their condition. But we did see that there was an ambulance taking at least one person to the hospital. So
as we know in these Facebook Live situations, a lot of people want to know, they're just logging on, just a recap of what is happening. South Bend Police confirming that 4 people have been shot, 2 people are dead along Frederickson Street. The crime scene spans all the way from Huey Street to Johnson Street along Frederickson. This entire area likely to be blocked off by Metro Homicide. We know it's dark. We're underneath a light pole here along Frederickson Street. You can see, though, again, I'm going to have Jess just walk you through the first crime scene here. You can see just how many police were here. I mean, when we pulled up, we could count at least 10 police cars.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And there are some that have left, so there had to have been even more that were here before we even arrived, because I know this scene has been chaotic. I know we saw the fire department here as well, so they have pretty much all hands on deck for these 2 scenes that are kind of
there goes
morphing
a police
into
car
one.
there right now.
Yep.
So tell folks what we're looking at here. This is the first crime scene, Huey and Frederickson.
Absolutely. That's where this whole thing initiated. There were some shots that rang out there, and then a car came down the street and came to Frederickson and Johnson and ran into that house where you see a bunch of cars over there, and there ended up being at least one deceased person that was in front of that house. And
let's go a little closer. It was hard to see, really. We're going to go between light poles here, so it's going to be a little bit dark here for just a second. It was really difficult to see. It looked like an SUV, Jess. I don't know if you were able to see very well. The vehicle is damaged, and it's wedged between these 2 homes. I didn't see a lot of damage to this house. Police saying that this SUV sped down Frederickson Street here to Johnson Street and hit one of the houses here. I don't know, Jess. Can you tell which house was hit? It looks like there's definitely a lot of people on the porch there at 802.
Right, they had said a 700 block
it
house,
does look like look at the siding. You can see, you're not going to be able to see this on Facebook Live. It doesn't look like serious damage here. And the vehicle, I don't think you guys are going to be able to see it. I can try to show you. It is an SUV. Let me see, try to point with a pen. The SUV is right here.
Okay, there it is.
I can't tell what that is. It may be a Blazer, an Explorer, something similar to that model, right between these 2 homes. This is the house that it appears that it hit. There's some damage to the siding. Jess, can you see that right? You're not going to be able to see it, I don't think, on Facebook Live. Take a look at the camera here. I'm trying to point with this pen. Little trick that I learned in MMJ school. The damage of the siding is right in here, and the SUV, you see a lot of cops that are gathered here. The SUV is right here and is really badly damaged. So this, again, man, there's a lot of people here too, as far as just outside of their homes. You can see the streets lined with South Bend police cars. And again, as you're logging on to Facebook Live here, 4 people shot, 2 dead along Frederickson Street. The crime scene spans between Huey and Johnson Street. Metro Homicide about to take over this investigation. They will be leading the investigation. You might actually be able to see a little bit better now because those police officers have their flashlights. Again, the vehicle that took off from the scene that hit the houses right here, and there's some cops going around it right now with flashlights as they look presumably for evidence. Difficult to see. It looks like, man, for such a big vehicle, being able to wedge between these 2 houses, hitting at least one of them, and it looks like went sideways almost into a shed behind one of these houses. And there are people home in both homes. You can see lights on in both houses. Again, we're trying to figure all of this out, as well as police here, is exactly what unfolded. Let me bring it back to us real quick, Jess.
Yeah, and unfortunately, one of those neighbors that I spoke with, the one who said she heard what sounded like fireworks, said that she did see one body in front of that house that we've been looking at and saw that being carried away. So
that lines up with what police told us too, that body was located right in front of this house. This house, 802 Johnson Street at Frederickson. Again, this is just one crime scene. The other, the 800 block of Huey Street, where police said that all of this began. A lot of questions as to what unfolded here. Everybody, of course, wants to know who, what, why, when, all of those types of things, and it's just going to take Metro Homicide investigation in order to be able to get some of those answers by morning. Abby Lutz is on her way to the scene. Her live coverage will begin in the morning at 4:30.
Yeah, and of course we'll bring you the latest details when we have them. Police, as we said, are still trying to figure out exactly what's going on, exactly what happened. So once they figure it out, we'll pass that info to you.
Yeah, and let me actually go one more time to this vehicle, because now officers have gotten a little bit more out of the way. It looks like gosh, I'm sorry that it's so dark, guys. That vehicle, again, is an SUV, and it's right here, pretty badly damaged. Looks like it hit the side of this home, came barreling down, witnesses told us, Frederickson Street from Huey here to Johnson, where obviously it lost control and ended up hitting one of the homes and then back there behind that one house. Just look, you can even see a shoe in the driveway. Just showing just kind of how chaotic this was as it unfolded. A lot of investigators here as well, and as we expected, this area being blocked off. Metro Homicide, thank you. We're actually getting moved right now, which we expected that may happen. Metro Homicide going to be blocking off this entire area along Frederickson Street. Jess is going to go grab her camera real quick. We were bringing you the first Facebook Live. We're actually now on the wrong side of the crime scene tape. They expanded the area, the perimeter here, so we want to make sure, of course, that we get out of the way. As we mentioned, a very large crime scene here from the 800 block of Huey Street all the way down Frederickson to Johnson Street, and they are now blocking off that entire area. As you can see, I just had to go underneath that crime scene tape. That wasn't there when we first got here, so they are now blocking off a larger area here, as Metro Homicide is going to have to take a look at every part of this, from all the way back to Huey Street, all the way here to Johnson Street, now being treated as a crime scene. Lots of folks out and about their homes. We talked to several people, just did, about what they saw, again, hearing what sounded like fireworks. And if you're just logging on, I know everybody kind of comes and goes here on Facebook Live. South Bend Police confirming to ABC 57 News, we were first on the scene. 4 people shot, 2 people are dead. Those 2 people rushed to Memorial Hospital, and their condition right now is unknown. Metro Homicide taking over, leading this investigation. They're on their way right now. And again, the crime scene is a large one, spanning from the 800 block of Huey Street all the way down Frederickson Street to Johnson Street. Let's get Jess here on the other side of the crime scene tape as well. All right, we're going to get ready to wrap up this Facebook Live again. We're just going to stay on the scene here until Abby gets here. Abby will have her continued coverage tomorrow morning at 4:30.
Absolutely. She actually told me that she just arrived. I just spoke with her on the phone as I was grabbing my camera. So she's at the other end of the scene, and she's going to come meet up with us and help us continue to gather more information for you.
So we'll stay out here. We'll continue to Facebook and tweet what we know as we get it here. So stay with ABC 57 News for the very latest information. Thank you for logging on to this Facebook Live.